Okay, quick intro for you today because this is already a pretty long tie and there's not much history to this pattern. Now I did find it in Federation of Fly Fishers Pattern Encyclopedia. I changed it up a little bit. I added some flash and some deer hair. Really, I'm just trying to match the hoppers I saw in the Savage River last week. They were tan, kind of long but skinny, and when I caught one and threw it out in the water, it did spread its wings and they landed in the surface film, so there's a little bit of flash to those hoppers. So again, this pattern, not hard, but it does take a little while because there's just a lot going on. But I think it's a really cool pattern. I think y'all are gonna like it. So there it is in the vise. What can I call this but a parachute hopper? It's really just what it is. But I am kind of digging this style and this, color scheme. And I'm tying this on a size 8. This is a 3X long. It's the J Stalker J2 430. My go-to terrestrial and hopper hook right there. And I'm going to lay down some brown thread down here to about where the barb would have been. Now let's wax it up and dub the body. Now the dubbing I'm choosing for this one, it's a tan. This is actually a sow scud. I would definitely want to go with something synthetic that's not going to hold a lot of water. I probably wouldn't go with an ice dub. I think that would just be a little too much flash. So let's go with this one, and I'm going to dub the body pretty thin. That's about a 3-inch noodle. It's probably going to take 2 applications to get all the way up there to where I want it. I think that'll be fine. I left about 1/3 of the hook up front, and that's about how much we're going to need. Next thing I'm going to catch in, some crystal flash, some real thin stuff, and how much of this you put on here, I guess will depend on, how thick your flash is. So I've got 2 pieces, and it's really thin stuff, so I'm going to fold it over on itself twice. So I've effectively got 4 strands of it right here. Now I'll go ahead and trim this to length, about to the bend of the hook before I catch in the next component, which is just a small tuft of unstacked deer hair. I don't know how many fibers this is, 20 maybe, and I'm going to catch this in just about, maybe as long as that, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to go with a loose wrap right there, and then go forward, and now I can put some tight wraps. I don't want to go with tight wraps going back because I don't want it to flare out on the back right there. So those are medium wraps. Now I can go back forward again with some tighter wraps. Now that does have a little bit of flare, but don't worry about it. Next component, some brown mottled turkey, slip of turkey wing here. And kind of long, I'm going to catch it in tent style right here. Just going to lay it right there on the top. And don't worry where you position it because we're going to trim the front and the back. So I'll just do a pinch wrap right there, kind of tight. But again, I don't really want this to flare. I want that to kind of hold my wing down, and I think we're fine right there. So let's go ahead and trim this, the back part, just a little bit past the bend of the hook. And then the front up short. Okay, I think that looks fine right there. I'm going to spend a few wraps right here just trying to smooth this out before I catch in my legs. And the legs on this, I'm using knotted pheasant tail fibers. So I've got several of them knotted right there. So each of these are 3 right there, and I'm going to catch it in with a knot getting back there toward the bend of the hook. Not real tight wraps. Check your position. I think that's going to be fine. I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, check the length right there. I think they're fine. They might be sticking up a little bit more than I want, but that's fine. This thing is not a high floater, and they'll pretty much be sitting down in the surface film anyway. So let's go ahead and trim those legs. You want to trim the ends just a little bit right here. You don't want them too long. And then we'll trim the front up there so we've got room for our parachute and wing and our post up here. So for the post, I'm taking one strand of this white parapost here. And here is one strand. That's about what it looks like. You can pull it kind of tight. I'm going to fold it over in half. And then I will catch it in. I need to catch it in just a little bit forward of that. Maybe spend a few wraps trying to minimize that bump right there. But not a big deal really, because we are going to put more dubbing up here. So let's catch this in. And again, this is 2 strands of it right here. When I pull it up, my post is actually 4 strands thick. And I'll go ahead and just put my wraps around this one right here. So that's looking okay, but I want to take it a good bit higher than that because that's where we're going to be wrapping our hackle. So spend a little bit of time and wrap this post up as high as you need. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. Now let's catch in the hackle that we're going to be wrapping up it. And I'm cheating a little bit and being a little bit wasteful. You see this feather? I've stripped off all the barbs on one side, and I've found that will just help make this a little bit neater. So catch it in, leave enough bare stem that we're going to be able to wrap up this post right here. Now we can just take our wraps up and go as high as we need to where we're going to start wrapping this hackle. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to take some thread wraps up forward and just bury this stem. Now let's dub our thorax before we work on this post. All right, I think that thorax is fine and bulky enough. Some people will, and I've seen them tied with a bulkier thorax, but I think just a slight bit bigger than the body is going to be fine. Now go ahead and whip finish and tie that off. Now let's rearrange this fly in our vise to make it easier to wrap the post. Okay, we're almost ready to wrap this hackle. Before we can do that though, we do have to catch in our thread again, just so we'll have something to tie it off with. So a few wraps right here to just get this caught in. Watch my legs. I think that's going to be fine right there. Now just wrap this hackle as many wraps as you think you're going to need or that you have room for. And in this case, I think 4 or 5 will be just fine. Okay, now I'm going to catch this off with, let's say, 3 wraps here, and that hackle is caught off well enough. And I don't have a whip finish tool that's going to be big enough to get around that, so I'm going to do this by hand here. Just kind of work it through, make sure I don't trap my legs here. Now let's turn it back upright and work on the cleanup. All right, got this one, this excess right here to take care of. And then the post. The post, you can probably cut this a little bit shorter than you think you need, because it really doesn't take a whole lot of this white to keep this fly visible. One last look at what the fish is going to see right there. I think it's a pretty nifty little pattern. I think it's going to do well for me. Okay, thanks for sticking around, everybody. Now I want to do something pretty fun for those of y'all still watching. The last couple of months have been pretty decent for the channel as far as views and new subscribers go. They haven't been the best months, but that's because I went down from 3-time videos a week to 2. Now I might go back up to 3 this winter. We'll see about that. But August, it was pretty decent. I did do 2 giveaways and I had to replenish some of my materials. But after that, with the revenue the channel made, I had just over $200 left over. Now, I was thinking about doing a bunch of $25 gift cards, but I decided I'm going to do 2 $100 gift cards to Jay Stockard for this giveaway. Now, another fun fact, this video, the one you're watching right now, is the 500th video I've published on this channel. And that's really hard to believe. In almost 2.5 years, I've made 500 videos. They've gotten 1,200,000 views, about 114,000 watch hours, and just over 12,000 subscribers. So thank you to all of you who watch and leave comments and leave thumbs up. The last 2.5 years, it really doesn't seem like I've done 500 videos. That's just hard to imagine. But really, it's because it's been fun. I've never burned out, and I've loved every video I've made. Well, I can't say that because I've certainly made some stinkers, but I've had fun with every video I've made. So I just want to say thanks to all of you, and to the few of you that I've been lucky enough to go fishing with. That's just made it all the more special. And hopefully there's more of you out there that I will eventually get to go fishing with. So back to the giveaway. If you're interested in this, just leave a comment. Anywhere in the comment, put 500, 5 and 00. And on, let's say, Saturday night, September 2nd, 2022, I'll go to the random comment picker and pick 2 comments and get you these J Stalker gift cards. So that's it. My way to say thanks for your support through these first 500 videos. Let's hope the next 500 are just as fun as these. See you in a couple days.